everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. Today's matchup features one of the best passing offenses in the NFL. The Cowboys are top 10 in pass yards, going up against the Redskins secondary that could be in for a long day.
All right, we appreciate it, Larry. It's our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Obviously, they do everything big here in Dallas, and the introduction to the Cowboys, no exception. They're set for football in Big D, as their guys will do battle with the Washington Redskins. The bye weeks are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by Dak Prescott, the 135th pick of the draft back in 2016 from Mississippi State.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. One touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that. But he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And the Buffet boys, the O-line. Hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Second down, Prescott. Now they go screen. It's complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Give them 5 on the screen play, and that'll set up a 3rd down. And here is the Redskin defense.
Ryan Kerrigan's motor runs really high. There's no dispute about that. But what gets underplayed is his skill level. He knows how to set up offensive linemen in order to get to the quarterback. And once he gets there, he's able to knock the ball away consistently. Actually set a record while he was at Purdue for forced fumbles. Does the same exact thing in the NFL.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. On the left side, he finds Beasley. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. A Dallas first down, Prescott hooking up with Beasley. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
We give you the numbers for Morris on the ground a week ago. 12 carries, 73 yards.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
They run again with Morris. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. We were just talking about him pregame, 3 tackles for a loss. Last week he thought he looked so explosive on film. Starting off good there, another one in the first quarter.
He's every bit of what you described. And I don't want to make it too simplistic, but right now for him, it's see ball, get ball. And that's what he's doing really, really well, and he's doing it in the offense's backfield.
And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Used to have a coach just tell us all the time, those scouting reports aren't just to use on paper, guys. Well, nowadays, we're watching a computer screen, right? They scouted this team very well. Know that they like to use the running backs in the passing game. They covered that play successfully.
Give him 9 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is. At the 6-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. Very tough spot here for the offense to start. First carry now for Rob Kelly. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
They'll go again with Kelly. Room past the 20. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A big chunk of yardage there, 37 yards.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case. That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Kyle Wilder coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. And he's on the heels of winning the NFC Defensive Player of the Week award. He had a pair of sacks in last week's game, Charles.
So much for adjusting, so much for game planning, right? You know that he had the 2 sacks last week. Why aren't you able to block him? Sometimes the superior athlete just wins.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And he drops this off to Thompson, complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Now the 4th-year man from Oklahoma, Tress Way, on to punt, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. They begin the drive with Morris. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Prescott. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. A very solid gain of 27.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And now a first down following that long gain. Prescott now from the 50. He's going to fire one run deep, middle, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by DJ Swearinger. And a great return as he takes us up just shy of the 45. So possession changes hands on the final play of the first quarter. 0-0 our score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back live, Charles Davis to my right. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Redskin football to begin quarter number 2. They take over 1st and 10 following the interception. Now we've got whistles here before the snap. Was this on the Redskins? I think so. That's going to set them back 5 yards. A give. This is Kelly. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. 4 yards there on the carry, gets it back to 2nd and 11.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make the play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
This one caught by Crowder. And he is knocked down from the side. And that one results in 35 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive the team towards a victory.
And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. They'll keep it in the hands of Kelly. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Cousins the thrower. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Looked like some hands both ways. They got it on the offense.
And sometimes there's a fine line between being the receiver and the DB, and he knocked that one away. Might have caused an incompletion that could have been an interception.
Now Cousins. And that is incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right, that pass will go from incomplete to complete.
And Hopkins' kick is good. And it's 3-0 as the Redskins strike first. And we were scoreless up until this point in the 2nd quarter. Now we finally have a little action.
Let's see where this action takes us. First quarter, no points at all. Now we've got our first score of the game. Well, does that signal that we're going to get more as we go along? Or will it revert back to what we saw in the beginning of the game?
And our focus shifts here to Alfred Morris. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
This is Morris. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again, go play action, hit them over the top.
Running again, and again it's McFadden. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. A minute 59 to go in the first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Larry Ridley. Larry will have the highlights of this first half, but he won't have touchdowns because we haven't had any to this point.
But there's still time, though, partner.
Third down now following the run. Now Prescott. Complete to Jason Witten. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. In motion here is Witten. Now it's Morris. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment defense.
A little antsy on the left side of the line.
Yeah, I think they got the guy in the end. I think they got the DN there on that one. And let's face it, he is so amped up, wanting to get a good get off on the snap, jump too quickly.
2nd down and 4. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Morris. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Alfred Morris, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys are in for 6. solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Dan Bailey now for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. Bailey now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And here come the Redskins now. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave them with a 3rd down and 6 to go. Cousins now. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first. Half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. $62 yards on the punt that time. Wow. And the Cowboys will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Here's Morris.
Holding offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. In motion here is Witten. They run with Morris. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Elliott, they find some open field here. And they're going to get the first down here across the 15-yard line. They needed some breathing room. He gave it to them, 11 yards and a first down.
Well, stands reason to give Zeke the ball there. I mean, let's face it. Last year, Led the league in first downs picked up.
Yeah, 91 of them, 19 more than second place David Johnson.
Now you can see the confidence that the team has in him touching the football. Offensive line wants to block even harder because of him.
So we have come to halftime here in Dallas with the Cowboys out in front as we send you on over to Orlando where we'll check in with Larry Ridley. He's got our EA Sports halftime report. Larry?
Okay, Brandon, thanks, and welcome everyone to our EA Sports halftime report. Let's get to the highlights. The Cowboys are up right now and are looking to keep up the pressure moving forward. The Redskins just want to come out after the half and claw their way back into the game. All right, let's do this. Here's the first half highlights. Redskins on offense. First quarter winding down. Wilbur is going to push his way to the QB here. This ends up as a loss of 7. Offense out now following the interception. Here a throw deep down the field is caught. And he'll be brought down after getting to the 22. Redskins would go on to kick a field goal. Cowboys take over late in the second. Morris is going to look for space, and he capped off the long drive with a touchdown. They're now on top by 4.
All right, Larry, thank you. A fairly tight game here as we get set to resume play in this second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. You mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
He finds Quick. They give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on 3rd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the...
Touchdown, Washington! Rob Kelly, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Redskins are able to strike for 6. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
A second down throw for Prescott. Dez Bryant, the intended receiver, and it'll bring up third down.
Credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
The Cowboys on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Oh, look at the juke. 51 yards on the punt there. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. They'll get 3 up to midfield.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it, because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
On 3rd down, that's Thompson. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
How about the fellas with the stars on the side of their helmets rising up on defense? We always hear about the Cowboys' rushing offense. Their rush defense is pretty good as well, I think, because they're so cohesive. Defensive line, linebackers really work well together.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Here we go. 1, 9, 1.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool him, right? Tried to trick him, ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
And Beasley with it over the middle. gets this one all the way down inside the 15. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. Now a handoff here to his running back. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun, and they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. The Cowboys on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. Here it's 3rd and 3. Here's Prescott. His pass caught at the 4. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. His second touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter. Now Bailey to tack on the extra point. And that makes it 14-10. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. Bailey now to kick this one away. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Brian Quick, the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down. Well, in tapping those toes, he tried to get both in bounds. He could not do it, though.
In tap dance parlance, could not complete the shuffle. All right, needed to get that shuffle down with both feet, not just one.
Is that what they say?
There it is. You know, put a little sand down on the stage.
I'll take your word for it, my man. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Stephen Paya, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. With it is Brown. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Dak Prescott on the offense heading back onto the field. And he had the touchdown on the last drive, also 4 for 4. Very, very effective. What does he need to do to translate that forward into this drive?
Not think that what he saw in coverages last time is exactly what he's going to get again. He's got to play ahead and start thinking to himself, okay, we just did that. What are they going to take away now? What do we go to as a counter? And continue to encourage his offensive line to continue to give him time.
They were really good on the last drive.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Now Prescott. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by DJ Swearinger. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Got his man over the middle. This is quick. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Second down, Cousins. And an alley to run. Got some real estate inside the 30. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll hand it off to Kelly. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
From our vantage point, that was just one bad play by the offensive line in a series of really good ones tonight. But I know that they're going to be really ticked off. It's a lot like a baseball pitcher losing a no-hitter late in the game.
And he'll be brought down with the 1st down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Now Thompson. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. And they're knocking on the door. 2nd and goal now in a 1-score game. He'll look to throw. His throw incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Jalen Smith in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. Back to throw. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Brian Quick, his second touchdown on the season. And the Redskins have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
A score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Dak and the Cowboy offense heading back onto the field. And this is a spot where you can learn a lot about a young quarterback.
And that's why they brought him into the organization, because you don't just bring them in strictly for their talents. You think that they have that something special in them that will allow them to function in these types of situations. Now it's time for them to be clinical and not emotional. You know your play sequence. You know what has to get done. Get the ball to the right people, get out of bounds, and get it downfield and try and score.
And he's trying to earn his stripes here. And he's into the clear. He's at the 30. And all the way down to the 26. A big play here for the Cowboys. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as he'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. And now a first down following that long gain. Running left. Here's McFadden. And he's going to take this down to about the 17. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Prescott urging his guys to go quickly. They need to get up and set. They'll look to throw. He hits Beasley right side. Oh, no, he lost the football, and the Redskins scoop it.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they've got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball is so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week.
Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Kelly tries the right side. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. They run it here with Thompson. And they'll hit him for a loss as he's back to his 2-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll bring up fourth down. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you prime the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Redskins, the win gets them back to 500 at 6-6 on the year. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week, where they take on the Los Angeles Chargers. Meanwhile, for Dallas, They fall to 6-6 now on the campaign. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we say good night, everybody.